As a Man Thinks. How you doing? This is Deshaun Brown, Vice President of As a Man Thinks. We want to introduce who we are, but really explain to you the great things that we're getting ready to bring to this podcast. So again, Deshaun Brown, Vice President.
Courtney Venus, President.
Kyrie, Treasurer.
All right, and what you'll see is we've got a lot of experience dealing with a lot of different things that As a Man Thinks. Most importantly is, who we are. So all of us are fathers. We all have, now that we know, an average of 4 kids each, although some maybe more than others. But overall, the three of us have 12 children combined. So we definitely have some experience in what we're going to be talking all about. All right. And we're going to be talking about what our opinions are. So what our opinions matters when it comes to being a father, when it comes to being a man, when it comes to being all the different things that a man thinks of. Next thing is, why does that opinion matter, right? That opinion matters because right now it's needed, especially in our time. Fathers, men, their opinions matter. Where will we be starting at? We're going to be starting at right here, bringing a podcast to you every Tuesday. We can go through exactly what we're doing. You can count it to come. You can count on some fun things. You can count on some real things. You can count on some things that's going to really blow your mind. But make sure you tune in every Tuesday. And how? We're going to have different streaming devices for you. You'll be able to look at it on YouTube. And there's some of your popular sites that we'll make sure we put in the description. All right, so we just want to go through our intro and about who we are and what's important for us. So Kyrie's going to talk to you a little bit about our mission statement and explain exactly what we do.
So our mission statement is basically explained in 4 simple words: positively building young men. So that's what we're here to do. Positively build young men. We are uniting in a positive environment to help mold, influence, and build positive role models and leaders of the future. So basically, when we're here and we're talking, a lot of times we will have fun, but it is to influence and spread the positivity and also tell our story. Everything that we do here, for the most part, unless we joking around or something, it'll be real, it'll be organic, as was already talked about. And we want to make sure that everybody has the information so that they can build a foundation of their own, so they can be real and develop into the leaders of the future.
Perfect. And what we'll have Courtney talk about is really just the heart of what we started from, right? This is something that we all thought about, something that we really wanted to instill in our family and our children and each other. But at the heart of that is Courtney Venus, who really wanted to make sure it's something we put together. So I just want to hear very briefly from our president, Courtney.
Yeah, so when I think about this, this is amazing, first of all. When we came together and we thought about, things that we could do to impact the community, it started with our own kids. We looked amongst them and we saw how they was able to be leaders and draw their friends. And often I would come downstairs in my home and I would see, 12, 15 young men that were present. And I thought to myself, I said, if my home was safe for these young men, that's amazing. With everything that's going on out in the world and different things happening in the school, I thought, what could we do to impact them, to make sure that they're the next generation that, can take what we gave them and take it even further than what we're doing right now. And that's how this became. And now that we're starting this podcast, we're excited about not only reaching our individual communities, but being able to touch the world.
Absolutely. Like you said, our goal is to touch the world. We want to do things locally, obviously, but we also want to do things on a global standard so that fathers, men, potential fathers, current fathers, grandfathers, anyone who's a man can really be impactful in how they're affecting their community. And as Courtney mentioned, we've already started some of these things. You'll be able to visit our website. We'll put that in the description as well. You'll be able to visit our website. You'll be able to visit some of our chat streams that we have, but really get connected to what we're doing overall. We're encouraging each other. We're lifting each other up. We're challenging each other, but we're also making each other accountable because we all have a responsibility. And again, you see some of the things here. We got the U, we got the Bears. We're also going to have fun. So, don't be surprised if you see us laugh and joke about each other. But again, that's what makes us who we are. All right. So next thing we'll do is we're just going to a little bit more about what we're going to be bringing to you some of the episodes that we have, and we really want you all to be excited for these things. How many of you have ever heard WTF, right? When you hear WTF, what do you think of? All right, well, we got to play on that. Believe we got a way that's going to really help you out. And how many of y'all ever heard of LLC, right? You think of LLC, think of businesses. Well, we got to play on that as well. And then we got a few more things that we're going to be excited about. One of the issues I really want to talk about is what we call "Am I enough?" And that just means, am I enough for for my family, for my wife, for my children? So when y'all hear that, what do y'all think of "Am I enough"? What does that sound like to y'all?
I would say, me personally, I mean, that's probably something that I struggle with a lot in my life. As dealing with different employees and managing different people. Sometimes you get caught up in what people want from you or your title. And I've thought many times, am I the right person? Am I enough? Do I have the tools to succeed? Do I have the ability to succeed? And I will tell you, without my faith, and God confirming that I am enough, I probably would say that I'm not
Uh, am I enough? When I think about am I enough, I think about, just what it says, am I enough? And it's a constant thing that goes on in your mind, thinking about your family, thinking about maybe if you lost a job, how you gonna keep your family going? Are you enough to be able to do that? What could you do? It's always seems to be something that you could do or feel like you could do more. And like Courtney said, without the faith, and for me, that's sometimes a struggle because in trying to believe in something that you can't see, that's hard to do. So, am I enough? I always think about, am I enough? Even though I know I'm enough, I do need to have that faith to say, yes, you are enough. And it's a lot of things out here that can make you keep on thinking, are you enough? So when I think of am I enough, it's just that. Are you enough?
Yeah, I completely agree. When I thought about "Am I enough?" I think the areas that we always look at is what insecurities we may have, right? And all those insecurities validating or letting us know that we are enough. And do we get caught up in it? And as each of my brothers said, faith is going to be the biggest thing that leads you to whether you are enough or not. But just think culturally, right? Culturally, am I enough? There's a lot of things that all of us African American men here, certain culturally things that we have, and are we enough when it comes to each other culturally? But ultimately, am I enough is what we're going to be looking at for our families. And are we enough for our families? And there's got to be a connection. Each one of them said it. That connection about are you enough? It can't be validated in your wife. It can't be validated in your children. It can't be even validated in yourself. It has to be validated with some power that's greater than you. And that power that's greater than you will be able to help instill in you what you have. So to me, and I think what you heard is, am I enough? Really starts greater than yourself. Something that validates who you are. Then once you have that validation, then it should help out to validate everything else that you have in your life. So the other thing I want to talk about is, what do we enjoy? What are the things that we enjoy as individuals? What are the things that we enjoy? I know sports is one of them. What are some of the things that you all enjoy?
Some of the things that I enjoy is talking about people. Not not
enough.
in not in not in a negative way most of the time. But I also enjoy sports. I enjoy traveling. I enjoy hanging out with my friends and just having fun. Just being upbeat and not being down too much. I enjoy hanging out with my kids and just enjoying life. Because if you don't enjoy life now, I don't know what you're doing.
Well, I mean, I think he started off with, he enjoyed making fun of people. With that being said, I mean, as soon as he sat down, he talked about my hat with the bear, but we ain't gonna get on that today. But I would say things I enjoy. I think that's an interesting thing that maybe I never really thought about. I think me personally, I get so consumed in work and providing things that I would desire to do in the future that sometimes maybe my current time that I have here kind of just passes away. And I really don't look back at what has become. Um, I think I'm just so driven in, where I'm trying to go in the vehicle that I'm trying to get there. And that's not good because I think that you need to enjoy the presence. I'm told that all the time. Hey, you should enjoy where you are right now. But I have a drive in me that's always thinking about next week, next year. And, that could be good as far as, being dedicated to being successful. But then it could also be bad because there's a lot of people that is lacking in my life because of the fact of I'm so driven thinking about next week instead of my current situation. So it's a good question though.
No, that's real. I also struggle with that sometimes because, for the most part, you think about your responsibilities versus what you really enjoy. But I will say what I've learned to enjoy is my peace. A lot of time, my peace comes whether it's just not having a lot of things to do or a certain type of setting or evening or just relaxing, listening to music. One of the things recently I've discovered is sometimes breaking that peace can be what your responsibilities are and the weight that you got to carry. So you're going to either do one or two things. You're going to shrink away from that responsibility or you're going to step up, right? It talks about we got to stand in the gap. So I've learned to appreciate peace, but I've also learned to appreciate that sometimes there's going to be pressure that's put on you. And like I said, to whom much is given, much is expected.
Yeah.
So instead of shrinking back from it, I learn to step up. Whether that's, three of us doing something that we've not done before, stepping into an arena that we all probably appreciate, but something that we're new on, that's can get you out of your comfort zone. That can get you out of your peace. Sometimes peace can be staying in your comfort zone. We don't want to do that. We want to step up to be something that is great, something greater than what we've ever expected to do. So now that's what I'm taking pride and joy in, connecting with these three brothers to really do something greater than we ever felt. So how great do you think this can be? How great do y'all think this can be for not just for us, but for the people that hear it?
I think in doing it now with the way that technology is, I think that it can definitely impact a lot of people's lives. Again, like Deshaun said when we first did the introduction, basically we look to be the person that being real. We look to being real and making sure that we have those conversations. Sometimes those conversations may be tough conversations. We want to be real and heartfelt, but we also want people to know who we are and what we think and how we think. And so as a man thinks, we'll be talking about subjects and things of what actual men may go through. Like what he just brought up about like what what do you enjoy? That's a tough question to answer. Like Courtney was struggling with that because a lot of times we don't think about what we enjoy. A lot of times we don't think about a whole lot of things because we're so focused on what we need to do or where we trying to go or whatever. So whenever this was brought to me, I'm like, okay, so we have a chance to impact other people. And with the technology, we can not just impact locally, but we can impact globally. So I feel though that with what we have here, the platform that we have set up, I feel as though we could go as far as we wanted to go. So as long as we keep pouring into the men that listen and the young men and keep being real and authentic, I feel as though we can go. The sky's the limit.
So I guess the thing that I would add to this is when I think about where this could go, I think the thing that ignites me and makes me very excited about this is the things that we've done in a short period of time. Creating a group me, you know, literally back in December, growing it to over 50 people. 50 men that is impacted every single day, some type of messaging, some type of encouragement, some type of, hey, you can make it. Don't give up. And then for people to respond back, like, man, hey, I really needed that. That motivates me. To see us put together a event and have over 17, 18 young African American men, boys, that we talk to them about various things of sex, how to respond when being pulled over by an officer, as far as being respectful, and then looking at how their lives was impacted and how they left that room and went back to the school and told other friends, and more friends was calling me and their dads was calling me. The impact that that had in a short amount of time was amazing, which geared us to a place of not only does our local community need this, but the world needs it. So that's when we decided to branch out and do this podcast where we can continue to impact our community every single day, but then also touch the world.
I love it. I love it. And I love that they spoke to you about what we're doing, right? So what we're doing is we're impacting our community. We're not just creating ideas and thinking about things we need to do. We're in action, right? We are working in action, faith in action. So as Courtney just mentioned, we had an event where our boys came, got to understand what exactly happens when you're pulled over by a police officer. Now, most of us have gone through that. Maybe your father or uncle or somebody's told you, hopefully. But in probably some settings, you probably experienced that in a wrong way, where you got pulled over, didn't know what to do. And now you're sharing all your experience. But we don't want that. We want to make sure that we give platforms for children, for fathers, for people to understand what happens when you are pulled over. What happens when you're encouraging a young lady you need to talk to her? What happens when maybe you're an athlete or you're a person of influence and you got to go into a setting and you don't feel comfortable? Do you step up? Do you step away? Do you shrink back? What do you do? And engaging them to understand what to do, how to do it, and giving them a platform, as Kyrie said, where they can actually speak about it and not be afraid to share about what they've gone through or what they will go through. It's the only way that we can be impactful. We can only be impactful by speaking about it and doing what's not been done. We talked about organically looking at different things. And I'll be honest with you, the reason why this is important for me, think about February 26, 2012. A young man in Florida is murdered by a gentleman. He's just walking from a store going home. That gentleman who murders him gets off. Sometime later, sells a gun that he murders that boy with. And I saw a nation divided. Saw a nation divided with people on one side of the media is telling us this boy is something he's not. Another, this young boy is murdered for something he didn't do. But what it made me realize is that this young man was with his father. His father knew who he was. He was suspended. He was with his father. But you seen the loss that had on that family. We all discovered that's not what we want to be. We want to be someone who's impactful, not just present. Present is great. If you're present in your children's life, you're doing a lot more than other people are. But what's the next step? What's the next place you can go to? We're talking about going from one level of faith to another level of faith. Go from one level of involvement to another level of involvement. How can you be impactful in your children's life? So to me, what is some of the ways y'all can feel you can be impactful in the lives of not just the children, but in the lives of the people that we want to affect?
I feel like I can be impactful by just experiences, just being real and authentic about my experiences and what I've been through. I'm not real big on trying to tell somebody something that I haven't been through, because maybe I might be right, maybe I might not. But if I give you the authentic me and let you know what I've been through, and I've been through, even though I'm not that old, I've been through a lot. And as we get rolling on these podcasts, you'll get to learn me and you'll get to learn a lot about what has gone on in my life. And I would love to share that and share my insight on just anything that I have dealt with or am dealing with. So that's how I feel.
Yeah. I mean, I think that you have sitting in front of you three imperfect people that is determined to impact others, where things that we had to go through or deal with, maybe we can impact our kids where they may not have to go down the same path, or for perfect example, a neighbor that is up the street from me that's being raised by his mother and doesn't know his father, never spoken to his father, never had a man in his life. And I insert myself into that position of encouragement, positively things where he could see, hey, you can make it. It was really amazing that, he got a job at Home Depot. And when he first got his accelerated badge, he brought it to me and showed it to me and said, hey, Mr. Courtney, look. And what I seen in his eyes was he wanted someone to be proud of him. He wanted someone that was going to say, hey, I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work. And I support you. And that's what I did for him. This whole podcast is about how do we impact people's lives. It's not about us. It's about the simple fact of God placed us here to do something, to be impactful, to help. And just that one thing that happened with the young man and how it's impactful. In his mind, I feel like he's going to go back. He's going to work hard to go to the next level and the next level and the next level, because he wants to prove to not only his mother, but the world that, hey, yes, I didn't have my father, but I made it. I succeeded. And along the way, if I can impact him and help him along the way, then I feel like I'm doing what I was placed to do here.
Yeah, I agree. And so for me as well, the biggest thing is going to be what impact we do on the people we're connected to. Courtney already talked to you all about the GroupMe app. The GroupMe app will be something that men can get on every day, have encouragement, get fulfilled, be able to put something out there and know that other brothers hear you. What's missing a lot of times is people don't feel heard, right? You see someone going through things they don't feel no one else can relate to what they're going through. Well, that's not us. I mentioned we started out with 3 to 5 men. Now we're over 52 men, and it's still growing. So you can definitely be a part of that. Come and get encouraged. Come and learn exactly what it means to get up early in the morning and know that someone else is thinking about you. Someone else wants you to, when your feet hit the floor, you're getting ready to impact this world today. There's other brothers encouraging you to do that. You're going to be encouraging other brothers to do that as well, which gives you purpose. So, but again, we got a lot of episodes coming up, so be excited about it. Son, you're going to love it. The next episode we got is WTF. We'll give you the meaning of it. It's where the fathers, right? I know some of y'all out there thinking we're going to go crazy, so we're just going to where the fathers at. All right, but we got a lot of different things coming up, so it's going to be very impactful. Any final thoughts, brothers, before we go ahead and close out this and really get ready for an impactful week and what we can do for each other?
Just for reference, anybody can get in the group. It's not just for men of color or men that believe in one religion or another. This is just to come and be encouraged. Anybody can be encouraged, whether you white, black, Asian, whatever color you are, whether you Christian, Buddhism, whatever your religion is. We just want you to come, be encouraged, listen, and hope. I believe maybe it's some kind of way you can leave comments that maybe we can check, and then maybe a podcast we can just go through comments like a mailbag or something. But just come and enjoy. Everything that you get here is going to be real and authentic. It's going to be some laughter. It might even be some tears shed, but just come and enjoy it. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I will tell you is get connected. Get connected. If you feel like you don't have anybody, even if you do have some, get connected. Get connected with a group of positive men. You will never see on our group negativity, hatred, anyone that's being, racism. You will never see that, because we stand for our calling is way higher than any of that. Our goal is to bring a group of people together encourage them every single day. And then if you need encouragement outside of the group, get connected. Again, we'll pray with you. We'll encourage you. We'll help you. We're going to talk about a ton of different things on this podcast. We're going to talk about finance. We're going to talk about sex. We're going to talk about marriage. We're going to talk about relationships. I mean, it's going to go on and on and on. There's going to be a ton of different things. And we're hoping to get to a place where people really can, we can be live and people can come in and ask questions, and we'll answer them live, But the one thing I will tell you is we're committed. We're committed. It doesn't matter if we are talking to one person on the other side of this screen and that one person's engaged, it doesn't matter. Or it doesn't matter if we're talking to 20 million people. At the end of the day, we are committed. We're going to be present. We're going to do what it is that God has placed in our heart to do.
Absolutely. And as you mentioned already, we're going to be committed. So the GroupMe app will be something you can get connected to immediately. But not only a GroupMe app, you'll also see in the description a QR code where you can get connected to that, and you can get connected to our website. So please visit our website. You'll be able to see the QR code that gets you connected to GroupMe. Our website, if you want to be a sponsor, if you want to just be a support for us, you can find all those different descriptions. But again, what we want to do is be impactful. However, you need to get impactful with us, whether it's Kyrie, myself, Courtney, individually, collectively, whatever you want to do, we can do that. Some of y'all will learn our backgrounds. You'll learn who we are, where we come from. You'll relate to us. Some of you won't relate to us. But I guarantee you, in one of these circumstances, you'll find something you can connect with us on. And if you want to connect with us individually, you can. You'll have our description. If you want to connect with us collectively, you'll have that as well. All right. But we look forward to connecting with y'all. Thank you for your final thoughts. And let's go ahead and impact the world for what we are as a man thinks. Peace.